Hey, you stumbled across Mr. Spiffy video. Buckle on up. We're going in for a crazy ride.
Hey, what's this?
This is a rumor. A rumor classifies as a circulating story or report of uncertain or doubtful truth. Please take with a grain of salt.
Means it might not be real.
We got that, genius.
Seriously. Is he gonna be around all day?
The Pokemon rumor that's been going around for a bit is starting to gain a lot of traction. As we know, Pokemon is set to come out on Switch this year, and well, I would like to start with the names of these said Pokemon games for Switch, which are Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, are the supposed names for the Switch versions of Pokemon.
What? No color, no space, no magenta, no lavender versions, asteroid, freaking comet, really? No Pikachu and Eevee, rodent versus pooch? Come on, anybody else triggered by this?
Which brings me to my next point. The fanboys, you're an idiot, Scruffy. The fan base is more than likely to be split on this. I've seen people say it's cool, they like it, and I've seen people say it looks like a spin-off title and it won't be a core Pokemon game. All just based off the title of the game. So more in the vein of Pokemon Coliseum or Gale of Darkness, they don't think it's going to be at its core what has been through the Game Boy Color all the way up to the 3DS to this point. So not a fully blown Pokemon game, no real wild Pokemon encounters, no truly catching Pokemon.
Oh boy, here it comes the most triggeriest news I've ever heard in my life.
The next thing is arguably the biggest thing everyone is bugging about.
The capture mechanic.
The whole point of Pokemon is to catch them, train them, and battle them. They, Game Freak, is rumored to change the capture mechanic in Pokemon at its very core.
Simple, really. You run into the grass, you run into a Pokemon, you battle the Pokemon, you make Pokemon weak, you throw ball, you catch Pokemon, end of story.
Following the rumor that is going to follow the way of Pokemon Go.
You mean flicking the ball and that's it?
That's what comes to mind, yes. For those that don't know, in Pokemon Go, you would literally walk to a real-world location / area and select the Pokemon you see on the map, and you catch it by flicking your finger on the screen to throw the Pokeball, or you could add a little spin to it or something like that. There was no battling whatsoever. And on the Pokemon, there would be a bullseye or a target on the Pokemon that you have chosen. So say you run into a Charmander, there would be a circle around the Charmander. And there would be a green circle inside of that circle from the last time I played. I don't know if it got updated. And you would flick the Pokeball, and the more in center of the circle that you've got the Pokeball, the better chance you have of capturing the Pokemon. No battles, nothing special going on, no weakening the Pokemon to capture them first. Just throwing the ball and capturing them. You're totally getting rid of a lot of the fun or grind, depends on what angle you're looking at it. But the fact for the matter is, if it's not broken, don't try to fix it. Not gonna lie, I'm a little triggered by it in my own regard. I've been playing Pokemon since Red and Blue versions, and
God, you're old.
Shut up, man. At any rate, this is why there is so many mixed emotions on this, and it's not just me. It's the whole fan base. You can just look anywhere and look at the comments. Because you have OG players like myself, and then you have the crew that was introduced to Pokemon via Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go was highly successful, so I can see why they would try to attract some of that success to the main line of games, but it almost defeats the point of battling wild Pokemon besides leveling up. I mean, I could probably see it working in a way of, it could be like permanently online, and you go and fight other trainers around the same similar level or ranking as you, and you get experience by winning and losing money. Like, it'd be, instead of having NPCs standing around, you can go around and meet other trainers that are actually playing the same game as you, and you could get experience that way all the way up into the Elite Four. And then you could possibly run into a real life Elite Four champion, a person that, you know, has to hold the spot until someone dethrones them. But I'm more than sure that's not going to happen. There's another possibility that they really just want to go with the whole idea that the Switch is a console on the go and it has a touchscreen. That's why the Pokemon Go aspect is being in talks about it. Let's see. Oh yeah, and to bring that up about the Pokemon Go, Emily Rogers is behind that, and she has sort of a hit and miss type thing when it comes to rumors. Last but not least, there are two rumors that you could kind of mix into one. It seems like they are trying to follow suit with Pokemon Yellow, the original one, and which doesn't sound bad because in Pokemon Yellow, your Pokemon followed you, your Pokemon had emotions, and you can go and check at them, and it showed Pikachu in the little box, and it showed his mood, whether he likes you or whether he's angry, whether he's hurt, tired, etc., etc. And if you could do that with all of the 800 Pokemon, which I'm about to get to that in a second, that would be really in-depth and entertaining, because then you could really get attached to your Pokemon, and God knows I get attached to my Pokemon. But on the other note, they are saying that there's only going to be the original 151, and if there is only going to be the 151 Pokemon, that is going to be a major slap to the face for the people that have gotten into Pokemon ever since Gen 5 or later, or Gen 2 and later, and things like that. Not everyone has started from Red and Blue, which, you know, in turns it works out in my favor because I know all the Pokemon, not to try to brag or anything. But there are people out there that think Gen 1 is garbage. Like, they like the trash Pokemon better than our magnet Pokemon or our Pokeball Pokemon, or they like their ice cream Pokemon better than, you know, our Bulbasaur or our starters, anything like that. And it's kind of just taking out a huge chunk of people, and the only way I think they can solve this is by going the DLC route, which I think is a terrible idea. Nintendo's been doing okay with DLC, and since Pokemon is kind of first party, but since they're not completely owned, they're always doing their own thing apart from Nintendo, it kind of worries me just a little bit, because they can go that route. Imagine just freaking microtransactions everywhere. Oh, you want this Quilava? Well, guess what? You're gonna have to pay $5.99 for it, or for its whole evolutionary trait, you're gonna pay $5.99, or $10.99 if you wanna unlock the extra 150 from Gen 2, or etc., etc., etc. And last but not least, there is one more rumor that the announcement of these games are gonna happen before the end of the month, before E3. Not much to say on that. It is what it is, because if it doesn't happen before E3, then it's gonna happen at E3, and if it doesn't happen at E3, obviously it's gonna happen after E3. And Pokemon always like to do their own thing in general, whether it's a Pokemon Direct or their own announcements or things like that. What does the fan base think of all this Poke nonsense, these Poke rumors? What are your Poke thoughts? What are you gonna Poke do? Which Poke version are you gonna Poke pick? Let me Poke know, Poke fan base. And like always, this is Mr. Spiffy 5. Have a Poke good one.
Wow, back. Remember, if you like the content, subscribe. If you really like the content, give that bell a good old ring, a ding ding. Until next time, guys, this has been a Mr. Spiffy 5 video. Game over.